The Cham Dance, or Tsam in Tibetan, is a form of meditation and a way to overcome inner enemies such as greed, hate, and ignorance. The main goal of the dance is to spread compassion and purify karma. Welcome to our new video. Please don't forget to subscribe. Let's get started. The origins of Cham Dance is not clear, but it is said to have been kept secret for a specific reason. According to legend, the Cham Dance tradition was started by Guru Padmasambhava in the 8th century to symbolize the triumph of good over evil. In accordance with the legend, the king of Tibet, Tsam, called Guru Padmasambhava to get rid of evil spirits from the place where the Phyang Monastery was later built. Guru Padmasambhava performed a dance ritual to bless the land and restored its sanctity. Over time, this ritual evolved into the elaborate Cham Dance, which is now a distinctive practice in Tibetan and Mongolian Buddhism. Cham Dance's purpose is to destroy the enemy inside us. Our ignorance is our enemy. According to Buddhism, inner enemies are the causes of suffering of our human race. The dancer must envision themselves as the deity, corresponding to the mask they wear. Destruction is to be avoided at all costs. Originally, these dances were not intended for entertainment. Rather, the audience sought blessing from the performers. Every participant, including lamas, dancers, and spectators, would maintain an intense focus and engage in a meditative state. Cham dances often depict stories from the life of Padmasambhava, the 9th century Nyingma teacher, as well as other Buddhist deities. Some of the main topics include the Great Debate, which is held annually at Phyang Monastery in Qinghai. Another topic is the assassination of the cruel Tibetan king, Langdharma, by a monk called Lalun Peli Dorje. This dance is typically performed on the eve of Losar, the Tibetan New Year, symbolizing the victory of good over evil. The Black Hat performance is a Vajrayana dance and is the dance most frequently depicted in paintings. This dance is performed by Buddhist monks and carries two great benefits: achieving enlightenment and destroying evil forces. The dances are accompanied by a small orchestra consisting of traditional wind and percussion instruments, such as the drumyin, cymbals, tambourines, drummers, trumpets, conch shells, and bone flutes. The musicians have to play according to a certain rhythm: dra, gek, pum, jim. Dra, inner enemy. Gek, destruction. Pum, combined. Jums, crushed. This is the special sequence that must be followed by playing the musical instruments. The musicians have to achieve perfect harmony of body, speech, and mind through meditation. All the sounds, including the lamas chanting, the rhythm of the cymbals and trumpets, must be in perfect synchronization. The masks are larger than a person's head and are made of papier-mâché. They had large wigs made of yak hair. Mongolian masks, symbolizing the actual presence of a deity, are never pierced through their eyes. The dances must demonstrate the god's care, which is why the eyes can be pierced. As a result, the performers have to look through the mouths of the masks, adding extra height to their appearance. Functioning as a temporary residence of gods and demons, these masks are similar to statues and are treated as sacred objects. When not in use, they were stored in monasteries and honored in daily rituals. These masks encompass a range of characteristics, from benevolent to fearsome, representing famous figures from historical episodes of Tibetan culture. The fierce appearance of these masks is not literal, but rather a symbolic representation designed to ward off our inner enemies: greed, hate, ignorance, selfishness, ego, anger, lust, jealousy, arrogance, and delusion. Wrathful protectors. The central position is reserved for the most effective and impressive figures in the dance, namely the wrathful protectors. These masks represent the guardians of Dharma, such as Mahadev, Hayagriva, Yama, Lamo, and others. These figures can be easily recognized from a distance because they wear the brightest and most colorful costumes, and their masks are elaborate with a fierce appearance. the wrathful protectors are responsible for safeguarding others from evil. The presence in Cham Dance is essential and holds great importance. Skull Dancer. The next figure that you will spot at the Cham Dance is the skull dancers. One can easily recognize this figure because it wears a skull mask and costume that is skull decorated. This dancer holds a significant role in Cham Dance, as it is a symbol of enlightenment and death. Dortedagwa is the lord of the dance place. He refuses access to the dance circle to those not entitled. When dancers enter the circle, they have to pass two Dortegavas, two lords of the place, of guards of the place, can also be two warriors. These figures depict death, which according to Buddhism followers is an integral part of life. They are also considered to be a husband and wife who, according to legend, were ascetics in their previous life and were skinned by a thief while they were meditating. These dancers perform subtle movements, including jumps, circle motions, and various steps, which allow them to shift from one foot to the other. Each step is synchronized with the beat of a cymbal. The dance typically lasts for about a quarter of an hour. The skull dance serves as a reminder of human sacrifices. Guru Dancer. Another remarkable aspect of the Cham Dance is the Guru Dance, which is an imitation of Guru Padmasambhava's dance from the 8th century. The Guru Dance is typically performed on June 10th, according to the Tibetan calendar, in commemoration of the Enlightenment Day. Dancers who perform this dance wear distinct attire compared to the others, and they are also required to hold several special instruments that were once used by Guru Rinpoche. Deity Dancer. The deity dancers occupy the central position, and it is customary to offer prayers and offerings in fruits, food, and drinks to them. The Tsam dance originated in Tibet and arrived in Mongolia during the 800s. Tsam incorporates both tantric and older shamanistic elements of dance. It became a significant part of Buddhism in Mongolia before being banned under communist rule in 1924. The Stalinist purges in Mongolia resulted in the deconstruction of over 700 monasteries and the deaths of tens of thousands of Mongolian monks and lamas. This mass murder of much of Mongolia's monastic culture posed a threat to the survival of the Tsam dance, as few practitioners survived the purges. With the dissolution of the Soviet Union in 1991 and the introduction of a new constitution permitting religious practices, the practice and performance of Tsam dancing had grown significantly. Many of the costumes and masks used in Tsam dances survived the Soviet purges of monasteries and temples by being buried, hidden, or stored in museums, such as the Chojing Lama Temple Museum. In the 19th century, more than 500 of the 700 monasteries in Mongolia had their own version of the dance. Mongolian-produced Tsam masks are exceptionally large and possess an artistic expressiveness rarely matched in other countries. The Mongolian Tsam usually starts with a performance by two figures wearing skull masks and skeleton costumes. The two characters represent the Lord of Charnel Grounds. Through specific rituals and repeated dances, the pavilion where the Tsam dances occur is transformed into a mystic charnel ground, where people can discover the root of desire and attain higher knowledge. There are other characters, such as White Old Man is a shamanistic figure that was a part of pre-Buddhist religion Bon. Originally, he is believed to be the progenitor of various families. He is also considered the protector of herds and the provider of harvests. He is regarded as a god of fertility. He is seen as a symbol of long life. The next figure in Tsam is Kashir Han and his 8 sons, each of whom holds a different musical instrument in their hands. Kashir Han is portrayed as the ruler of Kashmir and typically wears a long dress with a necklace of long rose quartz malas around his neck. Groups of characters wearing demonic masks appear and dance around the circle, including the god of war, the guardian of religion, and the god of wealth, with the purpose of destroying all evil. The festival concludes with the Lama representing the god of wealth, wearing a stag mask, who tears apart a special cake called linka. A sacrificial offering shaped like a human figure, made from dough, is ritually cut into pieces and scattered in the 4 cardinal directions. This act symbolizes the destruction of the enemy of Buddhism and the purification of the human soul from the 3 evils of ignorance, jealousy, and hatred. Some scholars have suggested that this practice is connected to pre-Buddhist human sacrificial ceremonies in Mongolia. The only participants in the ritual who do not wear masks represent the early stadium of pre-Buddhist tradition religion called Bong. Bongpo, much like the popular Mongolian religion, had distinct shamanistic characteristics. The final chapter to appear in the Tsam square is Yama, the god of the realm of death and the supreme judge of the dead, whom the Mongols refer as Erling Khan. He typically wears a black buffalo mask and carries a lasso from capturing souls in one hand and a skeleton-shaped scimetar in the other. His arrival at the head of the procession marks the climax of the ritual. And this is it for today. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you learned something new and see you in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe.